Have you ever reacted in anger and regretted it later? Have your emotions ever clouded your judgment, hurting someone you care about, or even yourself? Today, we explore one of the most powerful teachings of Gautama Buddha: the art of mastering your emotions, not by suppressing them, but by learning how to respond instead of react. Let's begin with a story, one that Buddha himself shared to illuminate this wisdom. Once upon a time, a man approached Gautama Buddha, troubled and frustrated. "Master," he said, "I lose my temper often. I say things I don't mean. How can I control my emotions?" Buddha gently smiled and asked the man to sit beside him. "Let me tell you a story," he said. "There once lived a great king, mighty, powerful, and deeply respected. One day, he decided to visit a neighboring kingdom known not for wealth or power, but for wisdom. Upon arrival, he was greeted with honor, flowers, and a feast. But as the first course was served, the visiting king noticed something unpleasant. A fly had fallen into his soup. He frowned with disgust and threw the bowl aside. "Bring me a clean bowl immediately," he thundered. The host, the wise king of the neighboring land, remained calm. He softly said, "Your Majesty, it's just a fly. Let it not ruin your mood. It is not the fly, but your reaction that is disturbing your peace." The visiting king paused. The wise king continued, "You see, we cannot always control what happens around us, but we can control how we respond. A fly in the soup is just that, a fly. But anger, that comes from within." The visiting king sat quietly, realizing the depth of those words. Buddha looked at the man before him. "You see," he said, "we often believe our emotions are triggered by others, by events. But in truth, they arise from within us. The key is not to remove every fly from the world, but to train the mind not to be disturbed by them." That man walked away with a new perspective, and so can we. In our modern world, there lived a man named Michael. Michael was just like many of us, emotional, quick to react, often impulsive. A wrong comment? He'd lash out. A delay in traffic? He'd get furious. An argument with a friend? He'd say things he'd regret. Over time, his relationships suffered. Friends grew distant. His workplace became tense. And within him, a constant storm brewed. One evening, after an argument with his sister, Michael sat alone, feeling empty. He knew something had to change. The next morning, he searched for answers and stumbled upon the teachings of Buddha. One quote struck him deeply: "You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger." That hit him hard. He began reading more. He learned about mindfulness, the art of being present. He discovered meditation, a practice that allowed him to watch his thoughts without reacting to them. At first, it wasn't easy. His old habits fought back. The anger still rose, but he started noticing it. Instead of reacting instantly, he'd pause, take a breath, and then respond, if at all. He learned that not reacting didn't mean being passive. It meant choosing the right response instead of being a slave to emotion. His relationships began to heal. His friends noticed the change. "You've become calmer," one said. Michael smiled and replied, "I've just learned to stop letting my emotions control me." So, what exactly is the art of not reacting? It's the space between stimulus and response. Something happens. You feel a surge of emotion. But instead of reacting immediately, you pause, you breathe, you think. This pause is powerful. It gives you time to ask, is this worth my peace? Will this reaction help or hurt? Can I choose a calmer response? And in that pause, wisdom is born. Gautama Buddha said, "Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die." Let that sink in. When we react in anger, we don't destroy others. we destroy our own peace. He also said, "A man who conquers himself is greater than one who conquers 1,000 in battle." Because true strength is not in dominance, it is in discipline. And perhaps most profoundly, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. Want to master your emotions like Michael did? Here are simple practices to begin with. Mindful breathing. When emotions rise, focus on your breath. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly. Repeat 3 to 5 times. Pause before speaking. Before reacting, ask yourself, is this helpful? Reflect daily. Each night, reflect on one emotional moment. Did you react or respond? What can you learn? Meditate. Just 10 minutes a day can help you become aware of your thoughts and detach from them. Affirmations. Repeat daily. I control my emotions. I respond, not react. The journey to emotional mastery isn't quick. It's a lifelong practice. But each time you pause instead of reacting, each time you choose peace over impulse, you move closer to freedom. Because when you master your emotions, you don't just improve your relationships, you transform your entire life. Narrator. Calm, meditative tone. Let's end with some timeless wisdom from Buddha. Respond, don't react. Respond with reason, not emotion. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. Letting go gives us freedom, and freedom is the only condition for happiness. Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. If today's story resonated with you, take a moment to reflect. Think about the last time you reacted emotionally. Could it have been different? Remember, you may not control what life throws at you, but you can always control how you respond. Practice mindfulness. Choose peace. Master the art of not reacting. And let your life be guided not by storms, but by stillness.